Keep on going. I mean,
Keep
I know
keep
you're
getting
laughing
dog
all
walk.
the
You can
way
come
to the
back
bank,
anytime.
baby. Yeah,
Anytime, dude.
yeah. I kind of enjoyed it in a weird sort of way.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're. Hi, Michael. What's up?
How you doing? I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
Somebody said that there's 20 tons of nickel headed towards Earth. Is that true? Yes or no?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't do
Oh my gosh, I thought
astronomy.
this was a scientific program.
I'm not an astronomer, so I don't know.
Well, you know about space, right? Stars? Yes?
No, no.
Okay, what do you do?
I'm a microbiologist. I do
Oh,
molecular
I thought you were,
biology. So I do
I'm
I
sorry.
change genes and genomes around.
Okay, I misread. I thought you were about space. Well, have you heard about 20 billion tons of, it's a monolith headed towards Earth. It's rare. It's pure nickel. I'm surprised you haven't heard about that.
Oh, I did hear about the Atlas thing. Yeah, I
Yes,
just
yes.
yeah.
So, do you find that unusual?
I don't know if it's unusual or not. Like I don't know.
Okay, I think I better maybe talk to scientists
Oh,
of the
okay.
universe. But you seem really smart in what you do.
Okay.
Can you explain real quick what you do?
Basically genetically modify organisms for a living.
Okay, so do you think it's safe to genetically alter food
Yeah,
like corn?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I think so, but there's no research 20 years from now if that genetic altered corn does something to our system.
No, that's not true. We actually genetically modify corn for like 10,000 years. So,
Okay, you've heard of Monsanto Corporation? They're in charge of all the farming equipment, seeds, and everything. They practically have a monopoly on it.
no, I
They
mean, not a
all,
monopoly, but
well,
I mean,
okay, maybe it's a big company. Let's put it that way.
yeah, it definitely is.
Monsanto is a very big worldwide company.
And it's
I
actually just
thought
got
that
bought out by Bayer, so it's actually even bigger than what you're describing.
okay, then Bayer Company is big company. So what I'm just saying, I don't want to make trouble or anything, but I don't think genetically altered food, meat is good because nobody knows how it's going to alter inside us because it's altered. It's not from nature. It's
How
altered.
what
Get it?
happens what happens with the altered DNA when it comes into your system?
Well, nobody knows that because it's recently that everybody's eating this genetic altered food. I mean,
If I
okay,
have
look at this.
if I have a
Let me ask you
corn
something.
if I have a corn plant and then I breed it with
Can I
another
say
corn
something?
plant, are those genes changed?
If it's corn on corn, which sounds kind of weird, no.
Okay. Okay. So if
But
I go
don't
in
you think it sounds
and what if I go in to the corn genome and I just take out one of the genes and all the same genes are there, but I just take out
wait,
one
okay,
of the genes, is
okay.
that still
Wait a
safe to
minute.
eat?
Okay. I'm talking about when Monsanto alters the seed to be disease resistant to
I know.
pest.
I know.
That's chemicals to alter it, correct?
No, no.
Yes or
I
no?
mean,
Oh my God.
no. It's
Okay, I
altering the
think
DNA. It's altering the DNA.
no.
So, yes. I've
Okay.
done. I
Wait,
know.
I know you know I know I'm just a novice, I don't know anything. But I heard that Monsanto
Mhm.
makes the seeds like corn will be resistance to, the corn larva or the corn bug, whatever it eats it.
Yeah.
You know, the
Mhm.
so that's not natural
Yeah.
to do
Correct.
that.
Correct.
Okay, so
I know, but
okay,
we're starting.
thank you.
But my it's not an ability that is normally in the the genome of the corn. Absolutely, but the just genetically modifying something itself doesn't make it bad
Okay,
inherently. Okay, so
I
that
don't
was
know.
my example with the
I
knockout,
understand.
like removing one of the things, and that's what they have to do in order to knock out like the restorer gene, which is the ability for it to actually produce seeds, which is a way
Yes,
that they kind of like which their corn doesn't make seeds that are functional, so therefore you have
yes,
to habitually buy the plant, as a product.
yes.
So it's like stuff like that. You're
Well,
not like inserting a foreign, pesticide gene inside of the genome. You're just changing the genome itself, and that's not inherently bad.
Dr. Greg, I'm sure you're aware. I'm not sure where it's at, but there's a storage of seeds, 1,000 years old. They store it somewhere in the snow somewhere.
Greenland.
Okay, so those seeds are not altered in any way whatsoever, correct?
Correct. Yeah, it's a natural germline, but I mean, we're going to have there are stuff in there that would be bred by humans, so therefore technically they are genetically modified by humans.
Oh, well, I was under the impression that they're virgin seeds stored for the future.
Yeah. So this is really important to realize, man. So humans have actually been altering the ecosystem ever since we stepped on it. Like
Of
ever
course.
since we even did like agriculture. So we have had a huge impact on the animals that we allow to live because we have been hunted them from the trees and the plants that are allowed to live and where we live because
Yes.
we'll cut them down and we'll use them for resources and stuff like that. So humans have been changing our ecosystem for a really, really long time.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. From day one, you're right.
Yeah.
But say in Europe, they don't use pesticides. They buy food fresh. They don't store eggs in the refrigerator. They don't add genetically altered their beef. They don't put antibiotics in the chicken. And the people are healthier over there.
I don't
Maybe
think
there's a
so, man.
connection.
I don't think so.
Oh, well, I mean, that's just an observation.
Hmm.
I mean, do you have a fact study that it's not true that they're healthier in Europe?
I,
How about the
I
Mediterranean
mean, why
diet?
would you think that they are healthier? I don't understand that.
Because in Europe, they don't refrigerate the eggs. They don't add
I mean, you could
genetics
not
to the. They don't add
refrigerate eggs
antibiotics. You
here
know what?
too. I
Hold
mean,
on.
that. What do you think? What do you? I mean, that's just them.
Wait.
That's just.
They,
I mean, for apparently you are supposed to. It's healthier to not to clean and wash eggs and
yes.
refrigerate them.
Yes. You're right.
And by
That's
the
why
way,
people don't.
organic farming,
Yes.
the non GMO plants, they actually have to use more pesticides in order to make sure that their plants aren't eaten by the predators of their plants, of their crops. You know what I mean? If you're a
I thought.
farmer, you don't want
Yes.
your stuff being eaten by pests, right? So
Yes.
you have to spray pesticides on it, obviously.
But I thought organic farming doesn't use any type of pesticide.
It
That's
does. No,
means
no, it does. Absolutely. No,
well, maybe
you
ladybugs, natural pesticides like ladybugs or something
No,
like
you
that.
can't. I mean, are you really going to do that? If you're a farmer and you have they use organic pesticides,
Okay.
which can
Safe. They're
be
safe.
no, but they have to use way more of it.
Wait. Soap and water. I grow plants in my backyard. Soap and water kills a lot of pesticides. Yes. Right?
Okay,
Correct?
yeah,
Okay. I know you know more than me. I'm just,
hmm
I'm just thinking out loud, kind of.
but my in my case, I would say like why don't we use less pesticides and have the pesticide fighting chemical
Oh,
be inside the
okay.
plant. So then the plant just doesn't have to get housed with pesticides and it's already there inside the plant.
Hey,
So it's actually safer for
hey,
us to eat because we're
doctor,
not using a bunch of pesticides.
Dr. Greg, I got a good example. Do you remember way back DDT was stopped because it was getting into the eggs and
Uh
the
huh.
eagles and condors? You know that, correct?
Yeah. Hmm.
So that's gotten to the system.
Hmm.
The DNA got into the system and got into the what they ate, the eagles and the condors in California almost were extinct, but we managed to save a couple. It's all because the DDT is not allowed anywhere in the United States because it made the egg so thin that we almost lost the beautiful condor. So there is a correlation between chemicals and our ecosystem, correct?
Yeah, there can be. I mean, obviously, right?
Okay,
Yeah,
that's all I want to say. I mean,
but like, but
because
DTT and stuff like DDT. Sorry, DDT. Like we found that and then we removed it. Like, isn't that like it?
wait a minute, DDT alters DNA. They proved that. Don't you know that? I mean, I'm not saying anything.
I mean,
Maybe I'm wrong.
at a given concentration, a lot of things alter DNA. I mean, that's not
Okay.
really that can that.
Okay,
You
so I
know.
wasn't really that far off base. Now, look, you're a doctor. You know more than me. I'm just curious about
Hmm.
things. I didn't mean to make any trouble or anything.
No, you're
Um,
not. You're fine.
I'm from Southern California, so we're always curious about things.
Me too.
So
It's all
I'm
good.
impressed, doctor. I'm impressed with your knowledge,
Cool.
and
Thank you.
hopefully, there's a safe way to grow plants and food that can't alter anything. Because I believe, in my opinion, that we don't know 20 years from now what's going to happen. But you say we've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, we've been like breeding corn for like 10,000 years. So, I mean, the
Okay.
thing is like molecular biology, like because of the green revolution that happened in the 70s and 80s, we've basically been able to feed like a couple more billion people on Earth. You know, plants are way more productive for now. There's been
Absolutely.
huge wins in farming practices. So it's not, you know, we've already had huge strides in creating a better future for our plants and humans, you
Well,
know. But it's just it's creating and I think in the future having more farms that are local and having like smaller farms that are local to your city, and so you have to have less travel, that kind of thing. So it's way I think
they're
that
al-
is the future going forward.
they're also pushing for, at least in California, everybody have their own home gardens. Grow your own
Sure.
herbs, and which is it's getting popular. But one last thing before I go,
Hmm.
God, I forgot what I was going to say. Well, I'm impressed. I mean, you have obviously you're more educated than I am, but it was nice talking to you.
Thanks,
Maybe
man.
follow you. Maybe I could have more
Cool.
questions later on, another
Yeah,
time.
dude. Yeah. Drop in anytime if you see like a science news article or something that you're curious about. I'm your guy.
Okay. All right. You have a nice evening.
All right, man. You too. Have a good one. Peace.
Bye.
All right. Thanks, Michael. Thanks for coming up, man. Appreciate you. What's up, Ruben? How's it going, man?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, I just want to say, can you just clarify the difference? Because I get it that most
Hmm.
of the vegetables that we eat, like for example, broccoli's man-made. People don't really, I don't think
Yeah.
they know that, but it's
Brussels sprouts,
100%
the same
man-made.
thing. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's genetically modified.
It is. So
It's
basically,
not, because there's a
it
difference
is.
between
No.
like what you said, like genetically modifying potatoes or corn to not go bad or to not spoil. That's different than,
No.
you know what I mean, like crossbreeding
No.
things.
What they're doing is that they're breeding in order for a specific gene to be turned on or off, or a combination of different genes to be on or off in order to make something go from this, which is like this wild type, here, which is what it originally started out to, like here. So that they're changing, basically different mutations inside of the genome, would be bred in and cross-referenced, so that if, both of them had that turned off, then you breed it, and then the offspring would also be off, that kind of thing. So you're doing that by combinations of tens of thousands of genes, and basically you're looking through all the different variants and all the different types, and then you're trying to look at, it's called phenotypic screening. So you have the genes that you're changing through your breeding, right? But then the question is, what mutations make this thing right here versus this, right? What are the gene combinations that do that? And for humans didn't know about DNA, they didn't know about genes. So what they would do is they would just constantly breed the ones that looked more and more like this, in order to give that. Versus a molecular biology approach, right? That doesn't take 10,000 years in order to do. We can just take this, the original one, change all the genes, only the genes that we care about, and we can go directly to this maize plant. So it's the same. It's actually less genetic modification going from this natural, quote unquote, natural original wild type maize to here would actually be less genetic modification. You're changing less genes. You're just targeting. You're doing a targeted approach.
I know, but I'm saying like when we modify them to be more resilient, you know what I mean? That's
Hmm.
kind of different because then
Yeah,
you're making it, you know what I mean? So
it's
this is still considered
there's,
natural while
but you realize that breeding and the breeding of maize in order to get to this point is just changing DNA.
well, I guess so because you're breeding two different plants, but
Yeah.
it's
So
still
what? So why
natural
would?
while
So why would? Yeah. I mean, it's no. It's not natural as in natural selection. It's not. It's human selected, right? It's like, it's so
well, no, because the other dude gave the example of the boysenberry, which is basically just a cross between a blackberry and a raspberry, right? to create a boysenberry.
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, that is, yeah, exactly. That's breeding.
I know, but that's all. That could just be done naturally by having two plants right next to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah,
But
and
like
breeding is
genetically
good. Breeding is
modifying
good.
something.
You can have breeding with molecular techniques too. Like it's not like an either or thing. Like it's not a bad thing.
Okay, but what do they do to a plant? Maybe this would like clarify something.
Hmm.
What do they do to a plant? For example, potatoes or corn,
Yeah,
to where where like pests won't eat it. Like, how do you do that without
you put
like
something a new gene into it. So that
so
would
like a
be so
so
not
it would make it
necessarily.
repulsive,
Yeah,
right?
so they basically create the pest. So plants create defenses. Okay, so some of it is structural. They'll have like a waxy cuticle. They can't run, right? Plants can't run, so they create defensive mechanisms in order to stop things from eating it. So that's why there's peppers have that hotness. That's why caffeine exists. That's why and some of them are anti-insect things, proteins, right? That some plants or have developed and evolved. So the idea is this maize hasn't developed that anti-pesticide, that anti-insect defense mechanism yet. So, but we can take just that gene, just that one gene out of that one plant and then put it into here. And so that this maize now has the ability to have that insecticide inside of it. So instead of having pesticides sprayed onto it, constantly and using more pesticide than necessary and having the pesticide run off and then really impact the environment, you can actually have a super small amount of pesticide created in the leaves of this maize so that you don't have to use as much pesticides. Genetically modified organisms require less pesticides. They just do.
Well, yeah, but it's also extends its shelf life, right?
There
It's
are
not
ways
just
to
about
do
the
that. It
pesticides.
matters. You can genetically modify. There's a couple of different ones. So something that I did for potatoes is like the browning of potatoes from a shock or something like that. It doesn't change its nutrition whatsoever, but the browning looks bad so that humans don't want to eat it. So you can actually genetically modify potatoes to take out that browning so that they don't go bad, so people will eat them. So that was one of my projects that I've done too. So it's like it
But that's a natural process of the potato, just with oxidation, right?
exactly,
The browning.
yeah, and you're
So why would you
removing
want to
that,
take
and
that
you're
away?
basically removing that, and you're saying that yeah, you want to give basically less food waste. That's a win. That's a good thing.
Okay, but then wouldn't they just spoil faster? Because now they don't have that natural ability for oxidation or whatever.
No, they don't brown. They have like the antioxidants, all the reactive oxygens species to signal and everything, but they just don't turn brown. Yeah,
Okay,
Garden, you would.
so
Yeah, with
so
these potatoes, yeah, you would. That is a possible. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry I didn't solve all food waste. I'm sorry that I don't that wasn't on the project, but in this specific incidence, it does. Yeah, I'm sorry. If you actually
but
cared
wouldn't
about food waste, you'd be excited about that. But it's pretty telling that you don't. We aren't actually. Oh, okay. Thank you for telling me.
but what do you think? Like, so you're saying like Europe is just misguided when it comes to GMOs?
100%. Yeah.
Are you sure, or do you, I mean, why
Yeah.
would they ban them? Like, you know what I mean? And then why would our country not allow us to bring seeds from other countries? That doesn't make any sense.
Because seeds can be the carrier for a lot of different things too. So, yeah. So that you can actually just like have pests and stuff into it.
Even if it's like store-bought seeds from Europe or something, you just can't bring it across because they had them. They were confiscated. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't bring them across. It
Yeah.
doesn't make any
I
sense.
mean, also it creates like an invasive species potentially. Like there could be a lot of different like ecosystem, things that you care about.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that thing
Hmm.
because I know that pretty much a lot of the vegetables that we eat are already modified to,
Yeah.
just like the corn
Exactly.
example you gave. But I just, I wanted to clarify the difference between I guess there isn't a difference. It would just all fit under the same category of being genetically modified.
Yeah, I mean, basically breeding encompasses like breeding a plant and molecular breeding, and like you can take parts, and there's a lot of sophisticated like molecular biology techniques with libraries and like a bunch of mutant libraries and creating a bunch of different types of DNA and trying to see which one works and that kind of stuff. That's like, a directed evolution approach. If you don't understand the mechanism yet, and you're like, what does the mutation mean? What, when, that kind of thing. But in general, you usually like take these things out into like bacteria, and then you'll see kind of like what mutations confer what change, and then take that mutation then and then put it back into the same mutation back into the plants, and then see like what actually happens with the plant. And you're like, well, let's sequence the entire organism, right? The entire plant. Like, let's see and make sure we made no other changes other than this specific point. And then, that's what your product is. So your plant and your plant genome becomes a patent. Like that is something that you can patent and you can sell to people. So that is why you see a lot in the biotechnology space, with plant biotechnology specifically, you have them knocking out and removing the ability for the plant to make seeds. Because then it is a money thing, right? Because then it basically create a subscription service versus a one-time purchase. So I mean, I think I don't like that personally, but I can kind of understand if you're a plant company, when your product is a plant, that is kind of tough. I mean, maybe a lot of farmers are buying this and they don't understand that, so that could be very harmful. But that is something that happens.
So they just kind of monopolized it. That's kind of messed up, though.
Not necessarily monopoly. There's not a monopoly as much as it's like, it could be a subscription service when they don't understand, if you're a farmer, that like you're going to have to pay, for more seeds next year.
Yeah, exactly. So they just kind of keep you coming back.
Well, you could
like
use
Monsanto
a different,
or whatever.
You could use a different, company that doesn't do the restore or knockout. You could use that.
But how? Because they banned it.
No, you can't.
So you can't bring those seeds here.
No,
if you were to like go to Mexico
or there's tons of different like corn, like varieties now. Like you don't have to do the Monsanto like version of corn if you wanted to. You could use something else.
I know, but like I think, isn't it Mexico that banned our corn?
Mexico.
I think Mexico banned our corn.
Okay, I mean that for the same reason probably. No, the other way around. JJ, Bayer owns Monsanto.
Oh, Bayer bought out Monsanto.
Yeah.
But to push back on the previous subject, because I know what's his name, Michael, came up and he kind of changed it to vegetables and stuff like this. But you were talking about global warming.
Yeah.
You actually believe that that's accurate?
Oh, for sure, 100%, man. It's happening. Absolutely.
How though? Because remember, I don't know if you remember like Al Gore with the whole ozone layer thing, and that turned out to be a hoax. Like in the early 2000s.
Where do you think? Like, okay, so, okay.
Because the sea levels are not rising, you know what I mean? And the temperature of the seas are staying the same.
They're not.
So,
they're
and
not,
then
though.
back then he was like saying the whole ozone layer thing.
Yeah,
right?
They're not. Oh, I'm disconnected. I'm back. Am I back? Sorry, it says I disconnected. Are you here?
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you think climate change came from? Like the theory and like that kind of thing. Like, where do you think it came from?
Well, they're saying the icebergs are melting, right? But the sea levels are not rising. So
okay, but like, how does it? But how? Like, where is it coming from? Like, where is the idea coming from?
I don't know, because that's the thing. It started in like the early 2000s. That's when it really, really became popular.
Okay.
And it was about the ozone layer back then, but now we're not hearing anything about the ozone layer. So it's kind of strange.
But I mean, do you realize that was because of,
they said it was.
No, it's for chlorofluorohydrocarbons, and we stopped using those in a lot of stuff, and we did make the hole in the ozone heal a little bit. So it's actually a huge win. That did happen though. It's actually a good thing.
You actually believe that?
That's what the science says, and that's what actually is happening. Yeah,
But it can't just be America doing something and then it's fixed. Like we're on the same globe, and I heard like the amount of pollution that Russia and China do.
it's a lot.
That yeah,
Yeah,
so
but they
like
but they
everything
are
we're doing with the
they're doing a lot to mitigate it though too. Like I mean, China is doing more than any other country right now in terms of affordable, cheap, sustainable, and renewable energy production. You know, they're spending so much money on that. They're just painting like so much of their terrain with solar and wind arrays. It's incredible. Like we did a story on that, but it's stunning, dude. I mean, when China like makes the switch and starts turning off its coal-fired power plants, then we're gonna have peak oil and we're gonna start going down probably. We just did another article on that last week.
So you don't think we can correct a lot of it?
It matters, man. It matters. So what I think about is that humans are having a negative impact on the environment. You know, one of the ways that we are polluting CO2, right? From carbon is going from the ground and we're putting it up into the air. And that is the main problem with CO2 ppms rising, is that carbon should basically be in the ground, but it's inside of the atmosphere. And that process would not have happened if it wasn't for humans. And we can actually, carbon date.
Wildfires.
Yeah, it doesn't add up for the amount of carbon that's up there. We can literally do carbon dating on the CO2 of the atmosphere, and we can look at where the carbon came from, and it matches the carbon date of the soil, like of the fossil fuel oil, not the native atmosphere, and you can see the ratio change over time. So it's like, we know exactly that humans are having a huge impact on it. It's stunning, dude. I mean, the
I know, but it's not substantial enough to where it's alarming. You know what I mean?
oh, it is though, man. It is. So I mean, this is, yeah, that's where you're wrong. I mean,
It's not because we have carbon scrubbers, right?
but they're not doing nearly enough of the work, man, of that's happening here. So I mean, look at the
You didn't read my comment with like, because I'm in Phoenix, and they're proposing like if they plant more, like a lot of trees throughout the city, it'll help cool down the city by like 10% or 10 degrees.
Okay. No, it's not like 10 degrees. It's like a degree or a tenth of a degree. It's not 10 degrees, dude. But yeah, I mean, so the idea there is that as the sun radiates down, you just basically absorb less of the heat if you have like trees and things that are natural, because they kind of like absorb that heat versus cement and asphalt that just absorb that heat and then you just radiate the heat out. So I mean,
Yeah, I get.
there's so much evidence of it, man. Like of how the humans are specifically causing this, that humans are specifically like, causing this damage. And I just want to say, again, it is not just CO2, man. We are hurting, we're extincting a lot of animal populations. We're extincting biomes. We're extincting wetlands. We're extincting,
That's not true though.
yes, it is, bro. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
None of that.
You don't
None of
think
that
that,
has made the news or nothing. Like name
So
an
you-
animal that
well,
is there
bro,
even an animal that went extinct in the past 10 years?
what?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. There's a lot of like migratory bird species that are critically endangered. A lot of salamanders, a lot of amphibians, a lot of stuff that are in these wetlands, like the areas that are. It is absolutely happening.
But nothing's making the news? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, dude. Yeah, I know. Exactly. It's very frustrating to me too. Like I mean, humans have watched and loved the environment for, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, man. So like, for example, like in the UK, there is a steep love for birding. So birding is like when they track bird populations and they migratory bird patterns and stuff like that. So birding is like a hobby that people do. And so they actually have migratory bird, stuff down for, I think it's like 400 years that they can go back to. So they know that like that's having an impact. We can see how the plants and the insects both need to bloom kind of at the same time when the flowers are available, and the insects need to eat in order to be the pollinator, in order to get their little food, in order to go to the next flower. They're not lining up anymore. It's called phenology, where you have like that relationship. The plants are like coming up way too early now, and the insects are all dysregulated and they're not coming out in the same time. So we're seeing it there too. We're seeing wetlands that go extinct. Like 90% of the wetlands that have gone extinct in the last 50 years. So it's like, why is that? It's because like humans want to live like where the coast is. Like it's very simple. It's not, it doesn't take that much to know.
But how can wetlands go extinct?
Because we're killing it and we're paving them over.
No, because like wetlands would be like deltas, right? Almost like the Florida, what's it called? I forget what it's called in Florida. The what?
The mangrove forest?
No, like you said, the wetlands, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The Everglades and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's not going away. We're not taking anything out.
You don't think that it's decreasing in space?
No, not at all.
Okay. All right. Let's check
And then what happened in the Amazon was the Brazilian Amazon the government was okay with that. They wanted to do that. You know what I mean?
Over the last century, the Everglades have been significantly reduced from its original size due to drainage for agriculture and urban development, with over 50% of the wetlands lost and water flow rerouted by canals and levees. Historically, historically it's definitely gone. Human impact. 1900 to 1960, the period saw intense draining for development and agriculture, dramatically shrinking the wetlands. I mean, it's.
Well, I mean, if they have to use it you said it was for farming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's for our benefit. You know what I mean?
Yes. Okay, but you do just realize that you said that like we are changing them over, right? So the amount of Everglades is going down.
Well, yeah, but you can't say that's for because of global warming. That's for consumption. That's different.
Exactly. And exactly my point. Yes, dude. Thank you for saying that.
That's not the same thing, though.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point. That humans are having a negative impact on the environment. One way is CO2 from the soil to the atmosphere. The second is habitat loss and biodiversity loss. There are more than one way that the humans are having a negative impact. And just by focusing on CO2, what's happening is that people are kind of losing sight of the bigger picture and what we're actually doing. So that's exactly why I phrase it, humans having a negative impact on the environment. And I don't just talk about climate change, because that's just one way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you're right. Exactly. You're right. We are putting all those different ways. We're also polluting. We're polluting our environment with microplastics, and we're polluting it with trash, and you know what I mean? That's another thing, right? We're polluting it with a lot of different nonsense as well. We're also polluting it with nutrients, right? So for the runoff from our farms, basically off of the coast of every single city in the world is an oxygen minimal zone. And an oxygen minimal zone happens when you have nutrients, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, run off into the ocean, and then you have a huge bloom of algae, dinoflagellates, that kind of thing, and diatoms, and then they all die. And with that, they take the oxygen with them, basically. So what happens is that you have a big school of fish go running through the coast. They hit one of these oxygen minimal zones. Boom, they all die. And that's what the news reports come from of wow, all these dead fish just came up out of nowhere. And it's like, oh yeah, well, it's because we had a huge oxygen bloom because, there was a bad farming practice a mile upstream, and now all that went through. So like this has huge impacts, man. Ties us back to the genetically modified organism thing. Like if we can stop the runoff of our farms, then we can stop the mass dying of these schools in the ocean. They're all tied together.
I know, but that's the thing. It's inevitable, dude. It's like,
It's
you know what I
not
mean?
though.
Like
So
how can we ever change anything? We
I,
have to have farms. We have to consume.
mm-hmm.
Like, are you gonna like walk to work? We have to have cars. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
so
No,
that's the thing. It's
hey,
like
I
for
totally get
us.
it. Like
What's that?
I totally get it. I am not one of those people that thinks that we have to kind of like degrowth and we have to not live in a modern society in order for us to actually live and fix these problems. I think that how we fix a lot of these problems with climate change could actually create the next jobs of the future, of the next 100 years. We could be leaders in creating new technologies that we sell to other companies in order to mitigate this stuff and make our lives better, right? We just have cleaner, cheaper energy that just so happens to be solar or wind, you know what I mean? But we can, have a 10,000 year mindset on how to minimize our the dangers and the problems that we're having in the environment while also fixing some of our problems now.
But that's the thing is we can't even like make a step towards any direction. You know what I mean?
We can,
It's
and we
like
have, and we are.
we can't. No,
We
because like
are.
the electric car thing, right? If everyone I heard like if everybody were to like switch over to an electric car, our infrastructure can't even handle it. If everyone were to charge, like, because your average household has 2 cars per household, right? So
Yeah.
if everybody was charging their cars, our electrical grid couldn't even handle it.
Yeah. So we
So we would have to make such a
so we increase the ability for our grid in order to handle this stuff, and we allow our infrastructure to be updated in order to facilitate that.
I know, but that's the thing. Even that will create more pollution in the process. So it's
No,
like
it'll create less.
it's almost like it's a what was that?
It'll create less because you are create. It's like an ounce of mitigation is worth a pound of cure, right? Where it's like you stymie it earlier on in the process, and then you don't have to worry about the downstream processes.
But that's what I'm saying. To make a switch, it would just destroy everything.
No, it
We
wouldn't.
can't even
No,
make
it
that
wouldn't.
switch if we tried because we haven't
can.
made the necessary changes to even go towards a certain direction.
No, but like how
It's like,
would it?
are we
how would,
still in the Paris climate thing, the agreement awards or accords or whatever? The Paris.
No, I think Trump has like taken us out of it. Like I think, but honestly, it's partly because of we actually are on track to hitting that anyway. It's like not. Yeah, Chat's right. I mean, it's not mandatory. None of this stuff is like mandatory, but we're actually on track to kind of like hit that stuff anyway. But it's like Paris is just an agreement that this stuff exists and it matters and we need to do something. It's not so much like that's all we needed to do. We need to, the goal is to go carbon neutral. So the idea being that like the energy that we use, so basically there's this thing called life cycle analysis. So you can look at all the different the amount of energy that was used in order for like an entire process to be done, and then you can see like how much it was used in order to create that, how much carbons it took in order to expel that, and then you can kind of like have a hopefully it kind of balances out. So you're not actually like taking carbons from the ground and putting it out up into the atmosphere. You're taking carbons from the atmosphere, bringing them down, using them again, and then putting them back into the atmosphere, kind of thing. So that would be a carbon neutral approach, as opposed to a carbon negative, where you're just taking more and more carbons from the ground and putting it all up into the atmosphere.
Yeah. And I'm saying, like, do you think we're going to make it in time?
If we do nothing, absolutely not. So if we do nothing, our kids are basically going to live in a really bad spot. But like we have it. We have a chance. We have a ton of chances. We have an ability to actually like change the future. Absolutely, we do.
But that's the thing. We were on track to go to like 2030, right? Be carbon neutral by 2030 or something
Oh
like
no,
that.
not even close. No, not even close. Like 2030 was like carbon, like no internal combustion engines in California, and then carbon neutral by like 2050. It's like super far out. It's not like 2030 was, yeah, not that.
I know, but that's the thing. It's like we just keep shifting into like more and more, you know what I mean?
Because
Like
we're not
consumption.
hitting
Because
them.
now we even have like more, especially with like crypto currencies and stuff like that. Now we have even more data centers and
Yeah.
what are they called? They have a certain specific where their servers, like I forgot what they're called for crypto.
I
And
mean,
those,
you
I
have
heard
Microsoft
those
opening up 3 Mile Island in order so it can run, ChatGPT Center. So I mean, a lot of it is basically using different types of technology and using
yeah,
all of
crypto
them
mining. My
together.
bad. Yeah, that's
So
what it's
yeah,
called.
you have mining, but a lot of the miners are converting over to data centers because it's just so much more profitable for them to host AI as opposed to farming crypto. So, that's a good thing. And
I know,
and
but
a lot
that's
of
what I'm saying. Like we can't. We're doing one thing, but then we're doing one thing backwards, and it's like two steps forward and one step backwards. You know what I'm saying? Like
dude,
we'll never go
legitimately, you should look
carbon.
in. Have you looked into the NeoCloud stocks?
No.
Iron. Look at it. IREN. Check it out, dude. It's actually on a pretty good dip right now. But what they're doing is that they have space in their cloud servers. They have a bunch of renewable and sustainable energy like solutions around. So they're deploying both of them at the same time, and it's a huge win because like they're solving a bunch of problems at the same time, right? A lot of these like towns that they're going into, the data centers, like literally do not have energy for them. So Iron's literally building the energy infrastructure out at the same time, and it's solving a need because all AWS and Google they're already booked out. Like all their servers and their AI servers are all booked out for a really long time. So they're out of space. So it's actually a really cool opportunity. I think that we're going to have a lot of that, and we're going to have a lot of like nuclear power plants, like small little breeder reactors, like everywhere, in a lot more different places, in order to kind of like facilitate that patchwork. But like, again, dude, we had $500 billion set aside for this specific thing that the Biden administration literally passed and had money in that piggy bank in order for this to be done. Like we had it, the legislation passed, it was done, the money was set aside for credits for this stuff, and Trump pulled that out and raided that piggy bank and literally just gave that money to the billionaires. So it's legitimately infuriating because we actually did have like make a huge step forward, and a lot of that was exactly what you're talking about, dude. Grid infrastructure, improvements. So
Well, he didn't take any money out from that. He didn't take
yeah, he
any
did. He took $500 billion
from the Chips and
of it.
Science Act and all that. He didn't take
Yes.
anything from there.
Yes, he did. Yes, it was from the Inflation Reduction Act and the Infrastructure Bill. Yes. Yeah, check it out. How they balanced because there was 400 or $500 billion of credits in there. And that's how they did it.
Oh, okay. I know. Yeah. Okay. Well, I know, but that's the only thing I was saying is like we're not even making steps towards correcting anything. So I don't see how. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
we
I
have
mean,
an organization that's
I agree with
making
you.
goals for the United States.
But why not hit these goals and make our lives better at the same time?
Because we don't have anyone like holding us accountable. You know what I mean? We don't have an organization that's, you know what I mean?
But I mean, I don't feel like that's like a bad excuse, man, because then it's like you're just asking for like, like some daddy to come through and give you like what you need to do. Like we should like be motivated, self-motivated in order to live in a world that's better and more clean and, like solve some of these problems.
No, I mean, as a government to put policies in place, you know what I'm saying? And how would you do that without restricting people's lives? You know,
You're not restricting. You're
it
giving them
is. In
more
California, it's
options.
crazy.
No,
What's
no, it's
that?
not, dude. No, you're giving people more options, more jobs that they can actually choose to live in, to have higher paying salaries for a longer period of time because those jobs are going to be there for a while.
I know, and I thought we did that, but yet, you know what I mean? 4 years under Biden, I didn't see any changes or anything.
Hey, he didn't spend that $400 billion. I think that he should have just built it all. Like they were worried. They wanted to do a long-term 10-year build out, dude. They were trying to do it conservatively. They were trying to do it, so there wasn't a lot of waste. You know what I mean? I totally agree with you, bro. Like, I mean, now the name of the game is to pass the legislation, and then within the next year or two, spend every single cent that you actually have, because Trump has shown that you have actual power of the purse somehow, and you can actually like legislate from the executive branch. Nobody knew that was possible before, but now we do.
Well, I mean, Republicans have the House. That's the whole thing, right?
Yep.
It's not just Trump doing things, but
they're not passing legislation in order to undo the infrastructure bill and the Inflation Reduction Act. The OMB is just deciding like what's okay, and then also they're using budget reconciliation and taking that money and just putting it right back in there. So
I know, yeah. I'm pretty disappointed with how Trump turned out. I didn't think he'd be this chaotic in his second term. It's kind of messed up.
yeah, dude,
But
it's awful.
But I'll let you move on to the next guest. I just had a few questions about stuff like that. But
all good,
all right,
Ruben.
man.
You're always welcome to come up, man. I really appreciate your questions and stuff. Genuinely.
All right, bro.
All right, thanks, man.
Have a good night.
Appreciate you. Peace. Guys, friend of the stream, Ruben. Thanks for coming up, bro. I really appreciate you, man. Always good questions in chat. Ruben always really pays attention and asks good questions. What's up, man? How's it going?
Dude, I'm really surprised that you're pushing this stuff. It doesn't take much research to start finding out there's huge holes in all this climate crisis stuff.
Okay. Why?
Well, we have had other periods of higher temperatures and also higher CO2. I mean, there was the Roman period in the UK and around Europe, and then there was the medieval warm period, and then that was followed by the medieval sort of mini ice age, and then unfortunately the mini ice age came to an end just as the Industrial Revolution was starting, and of course the planet started naturally heating. But all of this is now discounted in the name of a climate crisis and carbon taxes.
So, okay, so you're just talking about CO2, like ppm. Do you think that the humans are impacting the environment in other ways, or just focused on CO2?
I absolutely think that all the plastic pollution is absolutely dreadful, and this should stop. And totally agree with that. And it's getting into the environment and causing a lot of damage. I do agree with that. Okay. But this notion of a CO2 crisis is not correct. And this is really pushing taxes, and not just taxation, but they're also now talking about a blockchain credit card and carbon allowances. So this is really going to be about controlling people, and actually also extracting money from ordinary people, as is happening already with electricity and things like that. I mean, in the UK, they have a new power station powered by wood, and these wood pellets are being shipped from South America and Canada, and it's costing a huge amount of money. So, I mean, it's all a bit fake to me. And also we have a lot of wind energy in the UK now. However, they don't have the infrastructure to actually transport that energy around the grid. So we have huge wind farms, and we have to pay them huge allowances when we can't actually use that energy. So it is looking a bit strange from where I'm standing.
I mean, that just means that we should do more to invest into the infrastructure of the grid, not like stop
Yes, I
renewable and
know,
sustainable.
you
Like,
know, the CO2 level is not at crisis point. It's made out that it's at crisis point, and it's not. And human contribution to this level is minuscule. I mean,
okay,
86% of the carbon actually comes from the ocean. I
do you,
mean, every living thing on the planet emits CO2. And we've had all this nonsense with Bovir. We're being told that cattle, I mean, cows, are causing climate crisis, and we're having poison put into them, and it's killing them.
how would you know whether or not humans are contributing CO2? Like, what would be your experiment? How would you know if the
Well, the
CO2 we're
thing is,
using?
it's the level of CO2 that humans emit is minuscule. It's 0.001%. I mean, that's absolutely minuscule.
Okay,
I
so
mean, we're
no,
made out
I
that
mean
it's like
that's
this
that.
massive
No, that's
problem.
again. So you're thinking about ratios when you should be thinking about like. I mean, you're thinking about percentage when you should be thinking about ratios, like how much of the CO2 is there and how much have we actually put into the atmosphere. You know that is the important part. It's not.
Yeah, but we've had high CO2 in the past, and there's been no human industry. I mean, is that from all the flatulence going on with humans? No. I
Exactly,
mean, we've had
because like
no
there
industry,
because
and we've
yes,
had higher CO2 levels.
yeah,
So how do you account for that?
because there are other times in the earth when humans weren't even there. So yeah, we've had historically super high
Yes,
levels,
but
but
we've
yeah,
had plenty of times
how
when humans have been there, and it's
how
been
would
far higher, and it's nothing to do with industry. It's to do with the sun. It's to do with the
no,
climate. Now,
it's not to do with
this
this the
is
sun.
known.
It's not. No,
This
it's
is
not.
actually known. It
No,
doesn't take a lot of research to find this
no,
out. It's more
that's
to
you're
do
wrong.
with the cycles of the sun. Our
No,
weather, the
no.
cycles
Again,
of
that's
the
just
sun
completely
impact the
incorrect.
Earth's
No,
weather
there was
greater
actually a
than anything
scientist there,
else.
the physicist in Stanford, that literally by the Koch brothers that was paid, and he thought this exact same thing. It was all because of the weather station, trying to where we're monitoring the CO2 ppms. It has nothing to do with the solar flares, all that kind of stuff. And he completely changed his mind after taking a Koch brothers grant in order to try to actually study this and prove his point. But he completely recanted and completely changed his mind and showed those because it was obvious the
Listen, we
data is
can't
absolutely
really. I
fine.
mean, in the UK, the UK government made up over 100 weather stations to push through their climate crisis narrative, and this did go
Dude,
into
do you
the
think that
media. But
we were just like monitoring the state of the environment
yeah, but
because of
why
this?
would a government do that? I mean, that's pretty outlandish.
No, it's not. It's because the research stations they wanted to probably check a lot of the I don't know the
They
emissions, and
made
why not?
up over 100 weather stations that didn't exist to push through their narrative. Now, this has actually gone into the press over here, but they have smothered it. It's only been on one publication.
Can we go back to
So,
trying to actually confirming how do you think we could confirm the like what humans have actually contributed to the current atmosphere? Like how would we know? What would be your
well,
experiment?
the calculation that they make is that humans are responsible for of all the CO2 in the environment. I mean, the official figure is it's 0.001%.
That's
Now,
emissions. So that's emissions of all the amount of CO2 emissions. But like,
that's from
what about
industry.
now? What about right now? Like, how do we know about all the CO2 that's been in the atmosphere? How would we know what humans have contributed historically and where it is now?
Well, the trouble with that argument is that the CO2 levels have been a lot greater in the past than
How do
they
you
are
know
now.
that?
So,
How do you trust that?
because, well, that's what they actually discovered when they actually looked at when they examined the ice cores. And
Exactly.
the surprising thing about when they examined the ice cores was that they discovered that, and this was the big thing they discovered that was very awkward, was that the temperature rises. The temperature actually rises first, followed by the CO2. And now we actually have the cart before the horse, and we are saying that the CO2 is rising, and that's responsible for the temperature rising. So this whole notion that all this climate crisis is based on is actually a fallacy that was proven by examining those ice cores. So that evidence became kind of very awkward for people, and again,
No,
it's not widely
no.
publicized anymore.
No, it's not. It's not. That's completely false. Again, so you're right that they do the ice core data, okay? And what they do is they radio date the carbon that's inside of the ice core, and then they can see atmospheric natural, CO2 versus the carbon date of the human CO2, because there's basically CO2 in the atmosphere that has the age of carbon in the ground inside of these, the oil fields in the ground. So how else would there be carbon in the atmosphere with the same age as 300 million year old like lipids in the ground?
Dude, when they look at the ice cores, they're looking at the bubbles in it, and they're seeing
Yeah.
what the levels were at that time.
That's what I'm saying.
And
Yeah, and that's
they
what I'm
can
doing.
actually
Yeah.
they can actually calculate that the temperature rose first, followed by a rise in CO2. Now we're being told the CO2 is rising and the world is warming up and we're all going to die. And we've got to pay a load of taxes for this, and we've got to have all this carbon capture. And we're all evil people, and we're causing the destruction of the planet. And people have got to throw paint over paintings and stick themselves to the floor.
This is hysteria, and this is like again. Tell me why the carbon in the atmosphere is so high in the age, like compared to the natural
It's not
CO2.
high, but that's it.
It is.
If
The ratio is high. It is.
No, it is not
Yes,
high.
it is.
Look at the
Why else-
science. The
why else would it
science-
be there?
It's at one of the lowest levels in 550
No.
million years.
No.
This
No.
this actually graph is actually on the Wikipedia page on carbon. It's actually it's kind of like
Why? So you trust? So I'm just going to say you trust the CO2 ppm scientists when it comes to them actually collecting this. That's not bubbles. It's actually the air pocket within this ice, the ice itself. So that's what they're actually when the hexagonal shape of the ice actually creates.
I understand that.
Okay.
They're
Yeah. So we're talking about. Why do you trust them then, but then you think that they're in a global cabal on everything else? Why do you trust these people?
Oh, because I've heard from enough scientists that unless you, it's a bit like this notion of 97% of scientists. I mean, do you think that 97% of scientists agree with climate change?
No, probably way more,
this-
honestly.
Yeah. Well, this comes from a 2013 paper, and they examined all the papers on climate change to see how many agreed with human caused climate change. And what they did was there was like 13,000 papers, I think, 12,000, and they sifted through all of them, and only a third of those papers were actually discussing whether humans cause climate change as a cause. So they decided they would discount the other 2/3 of these papers.
No, this is
And
hysteria.
so-
No, there's no. Of
No,
course
it's
not.
not hysteria because
you're just,
I can
you're,
send
dude, you're just
you
making
this.
this stuff up. Link it then.
I'm
Link
not
it.
making this
Link it.
stuff up.
Link it.
I'm not making
Link
this
it.
stuff up.
Well, I'll pull it up right
I
now.
can't link
Link
it
it.
at the moment, but I can.
It
actually
always
send you
happens.
this
It happens. I'm
information.
here every time you want to get your sources out and try this. The reality is the reason why there's such a consensus is because multiple fields and if we're talking about physics, chemistry, biology, all converging on the fact that humans are impacting the environment. And in order to think that humans are not impacting the environment is just willfully ignorant at this point. It's just it's a lesson in.
Dude, carbon is good for the planet. We're at a
You don't
very
even
low level.
so okay. So you trust.
we can't live
So I'm
without
just going to be sure,
CO2.
like you trust the scientific process enough to understand photosynthesis and to understand Rubisco and you understand the mechanism of how photosynthesis works. But you think that the same biologists are corrupted and we don't know what we're talking about in regards to climate change.
I do actually. I mean, are you
Okay, so
paid to do
you're
this
absolutely
channel? I mean,
so
are
you
you
are
paid
yeah.
to?
This is
Are you
exactly
paid
you're
to?
just
Are
wrong,
you
dude.
paid? Are you paid to run this channel?
No, but you know who the biggest person that pays me? Your
Who
mom.
pays you? My mom. How
Yeah,
does
your
she pay
mom.
me?
Yeah, she pays me all the
How?
time. Yeah, well, usually
How
it's in
does my
cash,
mom pay
fat
you?
stacks after but your dad watches me all night too.
Can
So
you see
yeah.
how you've defaulted now? You know, I've obviously asked you a very awkward question.
No, you got
Yes.
actually dumpstered, dude. You
Yeah.
got
No. I
absolutely
mean, you
dumpstered.
just that kind
You
of
got
rocked your boat.
dumpstered. You got absolutely
That's kind
dumpstered.
of rocked your boat, hasn't
You
it?
got
You know,
no.
you're
You got a
pushing
baby crying?
misinformation, and you're paid for it,
Are
and you
you
both know this.
are you you got a baby crying there?
You know, you
Are you
go
okay? Are you
you.
crying? It sounds like you're crying.
Oh yeah, well this is
Yo,
your
is
little
that
sound
okay?
effect, you know, because I mean,
Is
you
that
know,
okay? I can't hear you.
you've got quite
You
a
got the
show on
crying
the road
baby in the
there.
back. I can't hear you. What
You've
was
got a
that?
little bit of a show there, haven't
What was
you?
that?
Yeah. With the
Yeah.
climate crisis,
Is that okay?
matey.
I can't hear you. Are you
Well, right
crashing out
on.
right now, dude? I can't hear you.
Carbon taxes, here we come.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
mass
crashing out
control, here
again.
we come. You
Oh
know, you're working
no.
for the globalists,
Oh,
dude.
was that? Oh
Well,
man. Are you
when it all
okay?
comes around,
Dude, it's
you
not
know,
the
you were
cows,
one
it's
of their
you, dude.
shills.
It's you. You're the one that's
You
like, oh,
were
I can
one of
hear
their
you
shills,
just
baby.
what was that? Is that all right? I can't hear you.
It is for you all the way to the bank, mate.
Oh, yeah, that's so original, dude. Well, that's so original.
Yeah, well, you're the one that went down the rabbit hole there with all that nonsense.
Oh, you got your feelings hurt? You want to cry bully more?
No, it didn't hurt my
Oh, I'm
feelings
so
at all
sorry
because
about
it
it. I'm
proved my
so sorry.
point.
Prove what point? That you
It
have no
proved my
absolutely nothing
point.
what you're talking about, and you're going to sit here and actually question all of biology and have nothing to say about it?
Well, all your fake science.
Oh, all my fake science, and the
Yeah,
chat's
there are
saying me
plenty
that
of
you're a flat
scientists
earther too.
that
So
don't
you're going to
agree
sit
with
here
this
and you're going to tell
BS.
us about how photosynthesis works and the Earth is flat at the same time.
Well, there we go. You're going into your flat Earth conspiracy nonsense.
Oh, is that? But that's. Do you think that the Earth's flat?
You think is that what you think? Are you pushing this now? That surprises me.
That's what. I mean, that's what chat's saying that you are. Do you believe the Earth's flat?
Yeah, but there we go. You see, that's what normally happens with you shills. You default to this
Bro,
nonsense.
you're so lost, man. You're so lost, guys. This is why the UK and the United States did so poorly versus COVID, because there's people like this guy that are so uneducated on this nonsense, and here
You
they
know
go.
what they just discovered is in every cancer tuna, it's a spike protein. I mean,
Oh my
that's
gosh,
not
an
me. That's
ACE2,
the
an
science.
ACE, wow, an ACE2. They found ACE2. Wow, oh my gosh, that's insane. Wow, I can't believe that.
That's the science now.
Yeah,
But
it's
you
just
know
you have
what?
no
They're saying
idea
it's
what you're
because
talking
people
about.
caught
God, you're just getting
COVID.
dunked from issue to issue, dude. You have
You
no idea what
really
you're
are
talking
a little
about.
globalist shill. I mean, I
Oh, a
can see it
globalist
written all
show. That's
over your face,
so
dude.
original. You have bro, you have no idea how the science of the ice core works, and you're trying to source ppms. You have no idea how geology works, and you're trying to
Well, we
discount all
just
of
had a
geology for
conversation,
the.
and I didn't think I
You have
did too
no
badly, dude.
what? You got
I
just
didn't do too
dumpstered.
badly.
I just strung you along to every topic that you wanted to
No,
bring up.
no. You're just projecting this nonsense onto me.
What? What are you? I think you just embarrassed yourself entirely.
You're the one who embarrassed yourself by insulting my mother. I mean, that's a
I
pretty
never
low
insulted
jibe,
your
you know?
mom because I shag her all the time. It's your
There
dad
you
that I
go.
absolutely
That's your
dumpster.
default. You know, I mean,
Hey,
that
Dr.
really...
Greg.
You've
What's up,
lost
bro?
the plot there, dude.
No,
Hey,
not
I
at
just want to
all.
let you know your payroll is going to be through. It's Monday, right? It's Monday your time.
Yeah, well, I'm glad somebody's on the case. He's earned it.
Hey, well, I'm literally his boss, buddy.
It's true. It's the CEO.
Well, good for you. Who's paying you?
He's the CEO. Oh man. Yeah, we're all. Yeah, there are people in the world that are genuinely trying to do a good thing and that are actually trying to make the world a better place. I know that this is completely anathema to you because
That's what you people actually
you are
think. I
so
do believe-
greedy
I
and you are
do
so
believe
selfish
you-
that you just genuinely can't imagine actually trying
I'm
to solve a
greedy, I'm
problem
selfish.
other than food to mouth. But other people are actually trying to build up a better world where we actually solve problems.
Yeah,
Is that
you're
okay?
like,
Is that okay?
feeding cattle bovir. That's going to poison.
Yeah, you want to just
everybody and
fearmonger
kill
more,
the
but that's not what
animals.
we're trying to do. We're actually just trying to improve like problems that humans are having so that kids and people in the future don't have to worry
So that
about
we can
people
pay
like
our
you.
carbon taxes and we
Oh,
can have
taxes, you're going to
blockchain.
cry bully about that you have to pay taxes? You
Well,
think because
and
in your
carbon
mind,
allowance
in
and
your
the
mind,
blockchain,
in your
central
mind, you
government
think that
blockchain.
the Green New
It's all
Deal
coming
and you
our way,
think that
baby.
Greta Thunberg has more of a detriment to your life than billionaires taking every cent that you have and just squeezing you out for
Well,
pennies.
she's a great actress. I have
Oh,
to
you're
say, I
just
have to
so
hand it
mad.
to
You're
her.
just so
She
angry
really is a
about any
great
woman that
actress,
is
but
that's
she's just another
accredited or
globalist
creates.
shill, you know.
Oh,
Mr.
you're so
Truth,
mad.
Mr. Truth. I have to ask, from your accent, are you from the UK or
Uh,
England?
I may be from the UK. Why does that matter?
I mean, a little bit, considering that you're calling people globalists, like you're literally from the freaking globalist, one of the OG globalist country.
It's
Like,
true. It's
you
true.
know what?
Yeah,
You
well, I
know,
mean, like President Trump isn't run by the globalists. I mean, come
Oh
on,
my
get a
bro,
life,
gosh.
your
baby.
country is the globalist country. You're just salty because we superseded y'all, but like, y'all
Yeah, but
did
I
it
mean,
first.
yeah, but I don't deny that. I mean, would I deny that? I don't have to deny that. I mean, it's good to have it acknowledged, is what I
I
say. The
know.
more awareness, the
You're
better.
a globalist. You're a globalist.
So I'm a globalist.
Yeah.
You are a globalist. Yes.
So you're telling me that a globalist is up here calling out this farce of a crisis
Yes, you're
when they're
paid.
behind
You're
it?
Dude,
paid. They're paying you to
They're
come up
paying
here
me.
right
same
now.
thing. Dude, you think that I'm sitting here
Woo!
paid by some global Illuminati and I'm just sitting in my room in San Diego talking to my computer screen and you think that I'm a part of a
Oh,
global
no.
conspiracy.
You're
You're
probably
just
getting
out of
some nice
you're
government
just
grant, dude.
absolutely just
You're
you
getting
are
some nice
rubbing
government
two brain
grant. This
cells
is,
together trying to
you're
make a
probably a
neural
nice little
response in order to
NGO.
move
That's
your
what we
mouth right
have.
now.
It's normally NGO linked and all this BS.
Oh, hey, guess what? Guess what? Last week I just founded my first nonprofit. So there you go, bud. You're looking at it.
There we go then.
Are you mad?
Who's
How mad are
funding
you
this
right
then,
now?
dude?
How
Yeah,
mad?
you're getting your funding through. Well done, you.
Oh, yeah. I'm all getting my
Yeah.
funding. Yeah.
Thanks for admitting
We're
it.
gonna make
Yeah.
England vaccinated next.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's what my shirt says. Make America
You
vaccinated
need
again.
you need your boosters, dude.
Yeah, you're right. Isn't it right? Yeah.
Yeah, right. What a couple of shills.
Oh,
It's
wow.
great. Well,
Wow, you're
dude.
so original, dude. Is that the first word that you learned or something? Or you just,
No, but it it actually works. So,
is it? Does it?
yeah,
I don't think
it
so.
does, dude.
It looks like you're clinging on to whatever you can because you got dumpstered on the science and you don't know what you're talking about and you just got.
Yeah, well,
I'm
you
just
actually
dragging
haven't
you into
said
the
anything
mud
to me that actually enlightened me about anything about
because
this
you don't know
so-called
anything about
crisis.
anything. So I can't. So what am I going to
Well, I
sit you and
did
talk to
know
you
a
about?
few things that you
No, you
haven't been able
don't.
to
No, you
disprove
don't.
them.
You don't even. You didn't even understand that we could radio date carbon.
I didn't know. That's not true.
You didn't know that. I literally had to teach you about
No,
that.
you mentioned it, but I have read it in the literature.
Oh, and you don't even understand that we could date it and understand, and that's
That's
how we
not
understand.
true. That's what you're
Yeah.
saying to me, but I'm the
No,
one
you
that
don't
brought up
understand it. You
I'm
don't
the one that
understand it.
actually.
You are
I am the
disproving
one
the
that
same
brought.
science that you are using in
I
order to try to
am the
understand
one
how
that
this
brought up
works, and
the
you are
ice
using
cores. I'm the one that
misinformation.
brought it into the conversation. You
You
klutz.
don't even understand how it works. You don't even get how they're using it. You don't even think that the same scientists that are doing the ice core data sampling are inside of a global Illuminati.
No, I didn't.
Yes,
Because when they did
so
it,
those are
I'm the
the
one
only
that just,
scientists that
I
are outside of
actually
your
said,
globalist shill
no,
control.
you are putting this nonsense into my mouth. I didn't
I don't
say
know.
these
You
things.
trust me. The nonsense comes out of your
I
mouth
didn't
without
say
me,
these
dude. I'm
things.
telling you that
Stop putting
it already
words in my
comes out.
mouth.
It dribbles
I'm the
out
one
from
that
your
brought up the
brain.
ice cores, and I'm the one that pointed out that the temperature rises before the CO2, and that's the evidence from the ice cores.
That's
Now,
dude. That doesn't even matter. We can link directly
there we
human
go.
activity
The
from
truth doesn't
1850 to
matter.
today, based directly
The
because
truth,
of human activity.
yeah, but that's when the mini ice age ended, isn't it?
We're still going
I
through
mean,
an
we're
ice age, and
talking
we're
about
going the opposite direction now. Yes,
we had the
it's the
medieval
change of
warming
direction.
period.
It is the
We had
change
the
in amplitude
yeah.
of
Oh, let's forget
direction.
about the yeah. Now it doesn't matter.
Yes.
The medieval warm period doesn't suddenly matter. No, because it doesn't fit into your nice little timeline.
Dude,
And when that ended, when the medieval warm period ended, we went into the mini ice age. And then when the mini ice age was ending and we were getting warmer again, coincidentally was the start of the Industrial Revolution.
It
Do the
blows my
history on
mind
this,
that
man.
you're creating these artificial barriers when all these things happen,
I'm
and as
not.
if there's
This
any
is
like global
actually the
consensus
facts.
on this at all.
These
No, there's
are
not.
facts that you
No, there's
you
not.
are choosing
You are
to
you are
ignore.
choosing to to pick these ridiculous points in time as if that is the in all when these points actually matter. When you
They do
when you also
matter.
think that these people
See,
are part of a global Illuminati that isn't doing anything.
Looking at the correct timeline matters. You were the one that was bringing up the dates there, and I totally took the ground from you. But
No, you
but
didn't.
now it doesn't
You
matter.
have no idea what you're even talking about. You think that we're all the scientists are a part of a global Illuminati and we're all paid shills. Like, what
No,
are you
I didn't
talking
say
about?
you. I'm not talking about all the scientists, just the ones
Okay,
that
just
are being promoted at the
oh,
moment.
okay. So just
There are
okay.
plenty
So
of
but as soon as
scientists
you
who don't
touch an
agree
ice
with this
core
crap.
data, then they're specifically and the ones that enforce a narrative that you can support and you can create. You support those scientists.
Well, there are plenty of them, but they get
Okay,
silenced.
so yeah, it's exactly. So you don't
as
support
Melissa Fleming
science. You
says, do you
support
know who
a
Melissa Fleming
ridiculous
is?
narrative
Do
that you can
know-
pitch in
do
your
you-
brain
do
and you can
know
string
who
together
Melissa-
between your 5
Do you know
brain
who Melissa
cells.
Fleming is? Do you know who Melissa Fleming is?
Melissa Fleming, no.
No. Well, she works for the UN, and she's one of their directors in sort of their digital operation online. And she has been videoed, it's gone viral, admitting that they have partnered with Google and also online
It's
influencers.
crazy. This isn't how science works, dude. I
This
don't
is
care what
Melissa
some random
Fleming.
person
And
says.
as she says,
Melissa
she said,
Fleming.
"We
I have
own
no
the
idea who.
science."
I have no idea what this is. It's again this
Well,
random
look,
person.
people,
Who cares?
Google Melissa Fleming.
I don't
the
care who this
United
person is.
Nations,
I don't care. It's some you've
She's a very
created this
powerful
person as a straw man in your ridiculous
I'm not,
conspiratorial
because people-
arguments, and now
people-
like
people
they're
listening
supposed
to
to
me
all
can-
who we care. It's like the
Look,
people that
you've
say like
frozen the
Greta
comments
Thunberg is
because
where like
nobody
all
can
of our
agree
stuff
with me.
comes
No one
from.
can support me. You've frozen this. It's all frozen, and but people can go and check Melissa Fleming, the United Nations, and we own the science. That's what she says.
Oh, so it's just because she said that and she's a woman that's a scientist, you feel so threatened that you want to say this and denigrate her?
No, but what it
even
means
though
is
she hasn't done anything.
If you Google climate crisis,
Oh,
anything
so
that's
if you
approved by the
Google my
UN
specific
comes up.
blog posts that I listen to, that I dribble and just suckle at, just like how
Well,
you suckle
do
at a
dribble,
king.
it's true.
You know, you just
Well,
so
at least I got some truth from you.
yeah, exactly. You do. You love being a king boy, and I don't care. I don't care.
I know you don't care.
I don't care because this isn't how science works. Just what one person says. I don't even care. She probably,
all the way to the bank.
dude. She probably, guess what? She probably agrees, like with what I'm saying. I don't care. I don't care. That's not how
but
science works. We're going through 400 pages of IPCC reports.
Is promoting people like you. That's what she's saying. To promote their narrative.
Well, no shit.
Their climate
scientists.
crisis narrative.
Yes, scientists. Wow. Scientists are going to support scientists. Whoa.
Science
oh my
doesn't
God.
work like
Whoa,
that.
that's
Science
crazy.
is opinion.
Wow.
Science. You've got to listen to all the scientists. Not just a group of
that's not how it works.
Who the United Nations
that's not how it
approves.
works. You don't just listen to all the scientists. It's about what you can prove with the study.
That's
and people
science.
like you, people like you don't have any scientists or any study to show, and that's why.
To listen to other points.
Oh, did you just private your account? Is that what you did? Oh my gosh, you're so silly.
Did I just private my account? Did I just do that? No, I just did nothing. I mean, if it's set to private, it's set to private. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing when I first came here, you know.
So funny.
But I mean,
you're so
what the hell?
so afraid. You're so afraid.
Anyway, what does that matter?
Because guess what? What I am, I don't care about what she says. What I care about the study says, dude. What she says on her personal time and her personal things that are taken out of quote and quote mined and clipped in order for her to put. It doesn't matter.
This was one of these stupid cop things that you guys are all doing, you know.
Wait, what? I don't care. What if you want to let like someone like bang your wife? That's fine. I don't care. You don't have to bring that into here.
I mean, you got to really look up who Melissa Fleming is. I mean, you really
I
should
don't
know
care.
who she
I don't
is.
care who she is or what she's doing. It doesn't matter.
Well,
I care about studies. I care
she's
about
one of the head
science.
honchos at the United Nations, and
Great.
she's pushing
That's
all
sick.
this stuff.
That's great. I don't care. I care about scientific
And they're
consensus. I care about what we can actually
they're
show
getting
through
Google to
the
filter out
studies.
anything that doesn't agree with this crisis. You don't care about that. You don't care
No,
about
I
other
do.
scientists
No,
being
I do.
silenced?
No, what they can show through evidence and studies. That's what I actually care about. I don't care about someone that just makes an offhand comment and without anything to actually back up what they're saying.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying, though, is it?
That's what you're dribbling out. Yes.
No, the United
Yes.
Nations is actively suppressing scientists who don't agree with their climate crisis narrative. That's a big deal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we should actually take the medical licenses of people that don't understand medical science and are pushing awful things that are hurting people. What's new? What else do you
like
want?
the COVID vaccine, for instance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we should
that
take their medical licenses because they are doing harm to people.
Well, you just have a T-shirt in support of the vaccination process.
Of course. Yeah, because I'm a scientist.
Right.
Yeah.
You're a scientist.
Yeah. I'm sorry you're so bothered by it.
Well, all you so-called scientists, I mean, pushing all these vaccines on people and none of them are tested. And
That's completely false. They're all tested and they have been tested rigorously and they're very safe.
Do you know what a side effect of the Pfizer's COVID vaccine
Do you know
was?
what a side effect of measles is?
Do you know what
a side effect of the disease is? Do viruses cause disease? Do viruses cause disease?
Well, why don't you answer my question first?
So no, you're one of those terrain theory people. You're one of those terrain theory people. Because I know you. Because I know you. You think you're so smart. You think that you're such a skeptic and you're just such a unique individual snowflake. But I can see right through you. I know exactly the type of person that you are. I've been talking to dozens of people like you a day. I
can tell you.
What?
It was COVID. A side effect was COVID.
No, it's not.
It came out in South Africa.
What are you talking about? How would you get a virus from a spike protein?
Well, actually, they don't call it a side effect. It's classified as an adverse event.
Dude, you don't even understand how an immune system works in regards to a vaccine. That is wild. You get COVID-like symptoms, but you don't get actual full-blown COVID.
Well,
you don't even understand. You don't even think that viruses exist. You don't think that viruses are real.
I know, but according to their data, what they classify